Fair. That was absolutely perfect timing. We just enjoyed the national anthem being sung a cappella here from the pavilion, and we were standing at attention, and it worked out just perfect. We are back, hour 2 of the program. Joining us now, the Attorney General for the great state of Mississippi, General Lynn Fitch. Always good to see you, General.
Good morning. Great to see you, too. And, yes, wasn't that a beautiful rendition?
That was perfect.
And for us to be able to stand here and honor our country and listen to that, that was just fabulous.
Absolutely. It makes you proud to be an American, and we certainly are among a lot of patriots here, Mississippi patriots, at the Neshoba County Fair. And this is really just exemplifies, does it not, the great traditions of our democratic process, as we get to hear from the candidates in an open sort of forum. They're scheduled, of course, but they get to address the people that are going to be going to the polls here in a couple of weeks and casting their ballots. They have 10 minutes to tell the people what they're all about. You've spoken this morning. I heard you a little bit. I spoke
this morning, absolutely. But you're exactly right. It gives everybody an opportunity, certainly, to listen to all the candidates, the incumbents. But one of the greatest things about here, too, is you get to fellowship, friendships, people you might not have seen in a while, the opportunity to be together and really talk about what's going on in our state, have fun, enjoy this wonderful house party.
Unbelievable. And when you look in the pavilion, General, and you see the large crowds that are sitting there for all the speeches, it makes you feel like we've got people that truly care about our country, our state. They're engaged. They want to hear what the candidates have to say, and they want to be informed voters when they go to the polls.
Absolutely. And you're exactly right, Gerard. They're here because they're invested in the future. If they weren't, they wouldn't be here. But they are engaged. The people that are listening to us, people that are watching on the streamline, because, again, they are interested. What are we doing? What do our next days look like for Mississippi? And how do we rally together to make that positive impact?
Absolutely. So what was your key message this morning, General?
Well, we've just had so many wonderful successes and accomplishments together. I mean, everybody has been invested across the state. I'm very blessed to have this amazing team. And, we take very seriously our role to serve and to protect and to make a difference for all Mississippians. So, in 4 years, it's hard to believe that we're getting ready for our next race. But the things that have been going on that are so impactful for our state. I mean, look, Gerard, we're going after the criminals. We're prosecuting criminals every day. Again, that makes Mississippi safer. That makes all Mississippians feel better about our state, our community. And at the same time, we are very active in supporting our victims. Unfortunately, there are too many victims of crime. And so it is on our responsibility to help those victims get back and to become survivors and have hope and dignity to do just that. Because, many times we see the crimes occur, but now we need to stop and uplift these survivors, these victims, because it's a challenge for them.
Early on, General, your office took a strong interest in the scourge of human trafficking in our state. You've been on the program many times talking about that. I know you've traveled around the state discussing it. How are we doing there?
Well, you're exactly right. We all together have been talking about it, communicating. I am grateful to you all at SuperTalk. You've helped get the message out, and knowledge is powerful. So the more we talk about it, the more people can give tips and understand what to look for and how we can really help these individuals. So we've been working very hard, certainly with our public-private partners. And so in the last 2 years, since we've all been doing together on Be the Solution, the first statewide initiative, we've rescued over 200 victims. Over 200. 15 of them were young children, Gerard.
So sad.
But we went after the predators, too. We have absolutely made over 60 arrests for these predators to get them off the street so that they don't take advantage of our young people anymore. We worked with our law enforcement, and we've been able to train over 300 law enforcement across the state. So now they're certified. They know what to look for in their communities. And then we pulled in together over 40 multi-jurisdictional operations. But, again, we've now, in our office and with the partners, we've looked at it from a holistic approach. I mean, we work with our sexual assault nurses, our shelters, our counselors to help these victims. And that wasn't happening before we all got engaged. And it's just so rewarding to know that we are changing somebody's direction, helping them get back into society.
It certainly feels like it's been highlighted over the last couple of years more than I can remember. in prior years, and I think getting more people engaged and just aware seems to be having an effect.
It really is, and it's all across. And people now don't really ask the question as much as they used to about, do we really have human trafficking? They go, hey, I've recognized somebody, I've called a tip in. And, when we put out there, when we've been able to rescue and arrest we've been able to do, it just continues to solidify the importance for everyone to be a part of the solution. Not only there, but all the different things we're working on, Gerard, whether it's domestic violence, or we're about to come out with a new initiative called One Pill Can Kill. Because, look, the opioids are in our state. They're in our country. They're coming across the border in 48 hours. I've been down there. I've seen it. We're all border states now, and it's wide open. The cartels are running the border. But so when you kind of peel that back, how does it affect us? Well, it's here, and it's affecting our children, our friends, our neighbors. We lost 237 Mississippians last year to a fentanyl overdose.
Number one killer, I think, of young people in our country. Last time I looked at the statistics. Let's shift our attention to a different topic, General. Well, what about this Tidelands controversy on Mississippi's Gulf Coast? Tell us about that.
Well, absolutely. Certainly, my office, I have a different view than Secretary Watson on that. And the recent Supreme Court laws, certainly give the steering toward how we're following the law that they've set out, their decision. That's important. And we have a difference of view of how the law should be implemented. I'm going to always follow the Mississippi Supreme Court rulings.
Sure. Just announced a few minutes ago that a U.S. judge, Judge Wingate, has blocked a law in Mississippi that deals with absentee voting. Do you know about that? Have you seen this ruling that came out? What do you know about that?
It absolutely just came out. Certainly in my office, we're to uphold the laws of the state, and we have a number of cases before Judge Wingate. We'll continue to look at this, file motions, whatever we need to do to best protect the interests of all Mississippians.
And this deals with who could assist a person in casting an absentee ballot. Is that correct?
It does. It has to do with the definition, who's the caretaker, who's able to do that. So hopefully we'll follow these motions, we'll get some clarifications, and be able to assist people that need to vote.
Is it somewhat accurate to say that sometimes people who are infirm truly do need some assistance, but you get into trouble when you allow just anybody, including maybe operators for a particular candidate, to get involved in this and then assist someone to cast an absentee ballot? That's how we end up with some voting irregularities sometimes. Is that kind of an accurate?
Absolutely. That's a great analysis. And to your point, we always want everybody to vote.
Sure.
I mean, that's part of the democracy for all of us, to have individuals vote and to be a part, because if they're a part of this election process, then they certainly can navigate who the winners will be and what the policy and the philosophy will be. But, yeah, absolutely. Certainly we have individuals that need caretakers. They need assistance to vote. So this will help maybe set some clear boundaries for that.
Any other cases your office is working on that are high profile that you can discuss with us?
Well, we have a number of cases, of course. I think it's important to note, certainly we're in the middle of House Bill 1020. We just had those arguments before.
The Capitol Complex Improvement District Bill,
in those districts. So, again, supporting our laws. We had oral arguments there a couple of weeks ago. Again, significant. Again, we should all be looking for ways to protect the interest, and certainly that is in Hinds County. And for us, it's also an opportunity to continue our great work with the Capitol Police.
How's the campaign going?
Good. You know me. You've known me a long time. I love to be out. I love to see people. I love to talk about what's going on in our great state. We do have so many exciting things going. We need to continue to focus on the positive, what we're doing in our state. We are championing so many good things. And we've got some things that are coming up, Gerard, that I think are going to be extremely impactful, that we all need to rally together. Parents' Bill of Rights. I mean, it's important. I mean, parents should always be invested in their child's school, their activities, their curriculum, and never should they be treated as terrorists. So that is going to be key for me as we work across the state. Also, to continue to promote and defend the Women's Bill of Rights. You know, it's significant. This administration has tried to totally rewrite the definition of a woman. And that is so degrading for all women, but for women here in Mississippi. I mean, I certainly don't want my daughters, my granddaughters, any to have to be in the same locker room, bathrooms, or have a different sports team makeup because of this administration. So we're going to continue to promote our Women's Bill of Rights. And, honestly, Gerard, here we are in 2023. We should never really have to be discussing a Parents' Bill of Rights and a Women's Bill of Rights, but we will.
I saw where, for what it's worth, Arizona, a federal judge out there just blocked their law that prohibits biological males from competing in female sports. You got to think somebody's probably going to launch something here in Mississippi, and you'll have to go to work.
Absolutely. We're glad to. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot. Always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Attorney General Lynn Fitch has been our guest. When we return in the Element Wealth studio that is on Founder Square at the Neshoba County Fair, it's candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Senator Chris McDaniel. Stay with us.